Hey y'all, it's Stacy with SouthernBite.com. You know, outside of the quick and easy recipes that I love to share, I'm kind of known for two things: casseroles and pimento cheese. Now, I will admit, I'm a self-professed lover of pimento cheese. I love it on a grilled burger, hot dogs, hush puppies with pimento cheese crisps, you name it. If I can put pimento cheese on it or in it, it's probably going to happen. Well, today, I'm going to show you this quick and easy recipe for my pimento cheese scalloped potatoes. This dish is so simple, so easy, but it tastes like so much more. To start, we're going to take 32 ounces, a 2-pound bag of frozen diced hash browns. Now, you certainly can take the time to peel and thinly slice some potatoes to make this dish, or you can run to the freezer section of your grocery store and pick up a bag of these frozen diced, sometimes called Southern style hash browns. They cook up perfectly and they make this process so easy. To this, I'm going to add 1 can of cream of chicken soup. Now, certainly if you're concerned about ingredients, check the label. You can opt for like the healthier versions of cream of chicken soup. Those will all work just fine in this. But I have to tell you, is a casserole really a casserole without a can of cream of something? To this, we're going to add our pimento cheese. Now, I'm using an 11-ounce container of pre-made pimento cheese. If you want to make your own, there's a great recipe on SouthernBite.com for homemade pimento cheese. You'll need about 1.5 cups of that in this particular recipe. To this, we're going to add 1 cup of heavy cream, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder and onion powder, and about 1 teaspoon of salt. Now, this is one of those things too where if you're using a different recipe, it may have a different salt content in the pimento cheese, so you could actually taste this before you add the salt to make sure that you're not making this dish overly salty. Now, if you have some time to let the hash browns thaw, it makes stirring this together a whole lot easier. Otherwise, everything's gonna freeze up on you when you start adding your ingredients together. And this is essentially all the prep work that goes into this dish. I've got a 9 by 13 inch baking dish here that I've sprayed with non-stick cooking spray. And just as a good rule of thumb, I like to wipe down the dish. That overspray from the cooking spray will get baked on if we don't wipe it off, so wiping it off prevents that from happening. We're gonna spread our mixture right into our dish here. And this is gonna bake in a preheated oven until these potatoes are tender. 30 to 45 minutes, it's really just gonna depend on the size of the dice of the potatoes, but that's it. This is the entire dish, and I promise you, it may not look like much right now, but when this comes out of the oven, it's gonna be bubbly and cheesy, and your family is gonna think that you worked all day making this dish. You can find tons of recipes like this for free on SouthernBite.com. Y'all enjoy.
Now, Mary, I've seen pimento cheese in salads, on a cracker, and even spread out on a burger, but I never thought about having it with potatoes.
I hadn't either, but to be honest, I'm good with pimento cheese wherever it feels like landing.
Absolutely. Well, before you head out to the store, stop by SouthernBite.com for all the fixins for this week's recipe and a wealth of other Southern-inspired delights.
No surprise here, but good food will also be the focus of our show next week, as we'll see how one urban eatery is growing acres worth of produce with just a couple of standard shipping containers.
We'll also visit a farm in South Alabama as they finish up this year's harvest of sweet potatoes. Thanks for tuning in to Simply Southern today. I'm Kevin Worthington.
And I'm Mary Wilson. We'll see you next week. Simply Southern is produced by the Alabama Farmers Federation and made possible with the support of Alabama Farmers Cooperative and these sponsors.